Hello, good evening and welcome to the News 4 Report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I am Gregory McBurney. Let's take a look at the headlines. Communications Minister dispels rumor of a plot to overthrow the government. The Caribbean Industrial Research Institute and Microsoft Trinidad and Tobago partners to open a state-of-the-art technology training facility. And the Atlantic LNG train line continues to play a major role in TNT's economy as the Energy Minister commends them for their safety record. Welcome and thank you for joining us. The Minister of Trade, Industry, Investments and Communications is today dispelling rumors of any plot to overthrow the government. He says it's the second rumor of its kind and dispels it as a campaign of mischief aimed at disturbing the peace.
Good afternoon. This serves to officially advise that there is no coup attempt upon the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and these malicious rumors of a coup are totally rejected as nothing more than a theatrical attempt to create panic and alarm. There is absolutely no truth, no evidence of any security threat or breach, and members of the public are assured that normal conditions prevail in the city and across the nation. In consultation with the Ministry of National Security, I wish to advise that the National Operations Center has explored all avenues of information gathering and spoken to all law enforcement agencies and all intelligence agencies, and there is no, I repeat, no information that corroborates this rumor. This is the second rumor of this nature that has surfaced in the past week and seems to be a part of an orchestrated campaign of mischief aimed at disturbing the public peace. The Ministry of National Security will continue to align all resources to ensure the safety and security of the state and its citizens. Thank you.
The Caribbean Industrial Research Institute, CARIRI, and Microsoft Trinidad and Tobago Limited have partnered to open a state-of-the-art technology training facility in Trinidad. The agreement to launch the facility has been recognized by the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the two organizations. Microsoft and CARIRI will open its first innovation center in the Caribbean. The tech giant already has more than 100 innovation centers in 80 countries worldwide, including Singapore, India, and Uganda, just to name a few. These centers provide world-class resources and support for IT stakeholders with the hope of growing the local software industry. Minister of Planning and Sustainable Development, Senator Dr. The Honorable Botowari, says the Microsoft CARIRI Innovation Center will have an immeasurable impact on the diversification and economic development of this country.
The MCIC is intended to assist developers, independent software vendors, entrepreneurs, researchers, and students to develop and deploy innovative software solutions on Microsoft technology. The services provided are designed to boost information communication technology development and to develop the growth of sustainable local software companies through skills and professional training and industry partnerships and innovation. This is directly linked to the government's trust to diversify and build the capacity for economic development through ICTs. The MCIC provides an avenue for individuals and groups to develop their potential while creating global ICT enterprises locally.
Barry Ridgway, Microsoft's Vice President of Sales, Marketing and Services in Latin America, says Microsoft is elated to be partnering with the government and hopes the center will have a huge impact on the local economic landscape.
There's nothing really more to our heart than partnering with governments and local entities to spur innovation. And that's innovation that creates businesses, it creates employment, it creates jobs for people in the local market. We can bring together students, we can bring together the IT professionals here in the local market, we can bring together research advocates in universities, we can bring together commercial companies, we can bring together capital investment companies, we can bring together entrepreneurs and really startup companies that are interested in building a business related to IT and give them a world-class facility where they can come and get trained, they can learn how to use technology, they can understand what it means to build a business and how they can take that to market.
He adds there is one thing, however, that will be a priceless result of this partnership.
We have 100 plus innovation centers around the world. One of the opportunities is that is a network. It's a network of research. And those of you that are close to research understand that innovation is about collaboration. So how do we not only spur collaboration here in Trinidad and Tobago, but how do we spur collaboration and innovation for Trinidad and Tobago and the companies and researchers and future entrepreneurs? How do they see that as a network of opportunity for their businesses to grow not only here locally, but also beyond?
Gregory McBurney, News 4. Atlantic LNG train line located in Point Fortin continues to be a major player in Trinidad and Tobago's economy. This from Energy and Energy Affairs Minister Kevin Ramnarine as he paid a visit to the facility earlier this week as part of monitoring the company's sterling safety record, which it has upheld during its 25 million man-hours in existence.
Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine is commending Atlantic LNG on its stance in promoting employee safety. The minister's comments come after he visited Spanish vessel Bilbao Knutson, docked at Atlantic LNG's port in Point Fortin. The visit comes ahead of the company celebrating 15 years of exporting LNG.
From a regulatory point of view, we are always interested to know that the industry is operating at the highest safety standards, and certainly Atlantic has demonstrated a high level of professionalism when it comes to safety. The company has informed us that they've had 25 million man-hours without a lost time incident, which is remarkable in itself.
Minister Ramnarine described employees working on the oil rigs and ships like these as being at the forefront of Trinidad and Tobago's revenue earnings.
This is the front line of the national economy, and this is where the value for the country's economy is really created in industries like the LNG industry, in places like Point Lisas, and in places like our East Coast, in the Galeota area and so on. So it's very, very important that not only the minister, but the staff of the ministry, the permanent secretaries here with me today, that we come out of Port of Spain and actually come to the front lines of the national economy, which is where the energy sector is located in South Trinidad.
He reaffirmed Trinidad and Tobago's position in being a global supplier of liquefied natural gas.
This LNG tanker that we are on right now, after it is loaded here, will set sail for Quintero in Chile, where Trinidad and Tobago, of course, is now supplying 44% of its liquefied natural gas exports to the South American mainland, specifically to Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. So this is an industry that we are very proud of here in Trinidad and Tobago. It's an industry that is inherently Trinidadian. 98% of the people who work for Atlantic are from Trinidad and Tobago. And it's an industry which we feel very confident will continue to provide the level of economic support for the economy well into the future.
The Atlantic LNG company was formed in July 1995. Construction of the first train started in 1996, and the train was officially opened on March 13, 1999. The first cargo was loaded in April of that same year. Kimberam Calawan, News 4.
We'll take a short break. When we return, stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. 4 needy families from Faizabad officially received homes through the National Commission for Self-Help's Starter House initiative. The recipients expressed their heartfelt gratitude to the government for the initiative.
So we are very happy today. I have a whole team of 40 people coming to visit you today to have this house tour. And these are some of the directors of the commission as well, Ms. Thomas.
National Commission for Self-Help Limited Chairman Suraj Deo Mangru officially presenting a starter house to this elderly resident in Faizabad. The government of Trinidad and Tobago, through the Ministry of Local Government and the National Commission for Self-Help, has embarked on the construction of starter houses for the very poor. This resident wasted no time in expressing her gratitude for the gift she received.
God bless it and bless everybody who helped me. And I thank him. I cannot finish praising him and thanking him for his goodness upon our life, for each and every one.
For her, no words could describe the feeling of gratitude on this momentous occasion.
I feel great in my heart. And I ask God to bless me home, bless my children, bless all the family, everybody, all ministers, teachers, lawyers, all. I can't finish praising and thanking him for all his goodness.
The scene tells a story of the transformation that is taking place in the lives of the poor by the provision of starter houses. Another recipient, Cinti Ahmadine from Gowerswell Road, Faizabad, sought to thank God for what she says is a great gift bestowed upon her family.
I feel like, it has been so long that I was longing for something like this, and God, He told me, wait patiently and you'll be up with courage, and this is what He did for me. So I want to say thanks to everyone who took the time out to see that I have something to be comfortable in today, and I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all mothers, and I would like you all to continue doing the good job that you all are doing.
MP for Faizabad, Chandresh Sharma, visited residents who are the recipients of the new homes. He said Miss Ahmadine is well deserving of this house since she has played an integral role in shaping the community for many years.
Cinti is one of those persons who go to everything. Wake, wedding, funeral, prayers, school graduation, helping to cook, helping to clean. Whenever there's a function in the committee, you know what Cinti does most? Wash all the wares. As a volunteer, not for pay. So today we are blessed to return the good work she has been doing.
A plaque of appreciation was also handed over to this new home owner, who upon expressing her thankfulness was brought to tears. She says life has been a struggle, but thanks to the resilience of the People's Partnership Government, the future is bright.
They came and took out pictures, gave us forms to fill. We filled it out. Mr. Mahabir came, took out the pictures, gave us form to fill out. And about 3 weeks after, they go along with the process. And before you know it, I had a home, And he said, the government is going to help us. She had did this for us, she and Mr. Ramlugan. And this was something we was never expecting. And I'm very thankful for this, what she have done for us, for me and my 8 children. And they did a lot more because they helped us with school books, clothing, everything for my children. And I'm very thankful for that, And I hope they keep on doing it for the poor people in Trinidad and Tobago.
National Commission for Self-Help Limited Chairman Suraj Deo Mangru made a plea for residents to come forward and assist those in need in their various communities in whatever way possible.
I would like to seize the moment now. Faizabad is a growing business community, and to appeal to the members of this business community to come forward and assist this family. This young lady, she contributed significantly to this community, and I'm appealing to you all now to come forward and assist. She needs bed, she needs a stove. Of course, we'll get her the stove. She needs a place to store her clothes and what have you. So at least come forward and see if you can help. She deserves a better life.
He says poverty is a social and economic ill with severe, far-reaching consequences, especially on human development. One major indicator of a country achieving developed status is the reduction of poverty to its minimum levels. This is an objective of the People's Partnership Government, and they have invested in many strategies to combat poverty. One such way is by building low-budget housing for those in need. The tour began at the office of the Member of Parliament for Faizabad, where the minister visited the recipients who saw their dreams of having a home bear fruition. For them, life will no longer be a struggle to survive. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
Although Mother's Day may have officially passed, Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessa has taken time out to recognize the mothers who helped shape Trinidad and Tobago. A mother and a grandmother herself, Mrs. Persad Bissessa empathizes with the struggles the nation's mother face on a daily basis.
How can you repay or truly show your appreciation to a mother for the unconditional love and sacrifice that she may make during her lifetime? The countless nights she spent awake caring for her young ones, and in many cases, the dreams that have been selflessly put aside to ensure that her children's dreams were instead realized, have all contributed to the powerful figure that a mother is seen as in today's society. For this reason, Prime Minister, the Honourable Kamla Persad Bissessa SC, along with her government, paid homage to the nation's mothers on the occasion of Mother's Day. On Thursday, the Honourable Prime Minister hosted afternoon tea in celebration of Mother's Day at the Diplomatic Centre.
Mothers are the true gatekeepers of our nation, as the hands that guide the children, who become the adults, whose work and actions will decide how much we progress as a people and as a nation. Mothers are the ones we turn to when we succeed in different moments of our lives, because they are the ones who helped us to succeed, believe in us, and encouraged us. Whatever our toughness, mothers are the ones we turn to when we face challenges or when we feel ill. It is their care, more than any medication, that we want in order to feel better.
The afternoon was one filled with entertainment, smiles and great company as the women in the room were reminded of the important role they play in society. It was also an afternoon where emotions were not held back. The Honourable Prime Minister was seen comforting Local Government Minister Marlene Coudray as she reminisced on the untimely death of her daughter. Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar was recognized for her continued exemplary display of leadership, which is done with compassion and fairness. She is believed to have brought a woman's touch to the governance of Trinidad and Tobago, and a special video was produced highlighting the legacy she has been creating. As the day came to a bittersweet end, the Honourable Prime Minister sent out a message to the mothers and children of the nation, fashioned in the spirit of Mother's Day.
I'm delighted to salute the mothers of Trinidad and Tobago, to thank you for being our quiet but strong heroes. Some of us are lucky enough to still have our mothers with us, and to others whose mothers have passed on, keep them alive in your memories and keep them proud wherever they are by doing the right things that they taught you. To the young women who plan to become mothers in the future, I urge you to never ignore the bank of great wisdom that many mothers in our nation have helped us to build. Be guided by the greatest virtues, by the strongest principles, by the clarity of purpose, and by the honor of sacrifice. To do your mother proud is to do your family, your nation proud.
Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Still to come, your sports news. Stay with us. In basketball news, Game 4 of the Moccasin Super 10 basketball series between the Petro Jazz and the Caledonia Clippers was contested on Thursday night at the Jean Pierre Sports Complex. Trailing 2-1, Caledonia needed a win to stay alive in the 5-series game. Wayne Cunningham has their battle to avoid elimination in this report.
It was do or die for Caledonia Clippers when they met Petro Jazz in Game 4 of the semi-final series in the Moccasin Super 10 Basketball League. The two teams were battling for the right to face Valencia Heat in the final, but the Mova Laventilla squad was down 2 games to 1. If they were to stay alive, a lot would depend on this man, Sean Lawrence. The Jazz also had some weapons of their own. Ako Pascal and Adrian Joseph were determined to give the Southerners their 3rd appearance in the final. But it was Caledonia with a narrow 21-20 lead at the end of the first quarter. Pascal set out to change that in the second. Miguel Williams was eager to show that Caledonia had their own long-range shooters as they increased their lead to 5 points at the half. 39-34 the score. Lawrence with a jam to start the third following the air ball. Joseph, though, was scoring consistently for Petro Jazz. Kerry McMillan had 11 Caledonia points on the night, 3 of them coming here. Dwayne Moses also had 11, this being the best too, as Caledonia extended their lead further going into the final quarter. The Petro Jazz comeback got into a jam early in the period. but when it got on track, it was swift. Akko Pascal with a dish to Dexroy Maxwell, who scored 11 points and pulled down 15 rebounds. Sean Lawrence was still leading the battle for Caledonia. He was their high scorer with 19 points and 8 rebounds. The Oilmen with a stronger unit coming down the stretch though. Kevin Garcia had 12 points to go with his 14 rebounds for Petro Jazz, while Pascal dropped in 19, with these two giving them the lead for good. The main destroyer was this man, point guard Adrian Joseph. He had a game-high 33 points, which included 4 three-pointers, as he helped Petro Jazz to the 90-84 win and a place in their third successive final, where they will meet the Valencia Heat. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
More news after the break. Stay with us. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is stating Trinidad and Tobago's position on the strife in Ukraine. In doing so, he's calling for the rule of law to be maintained.
Trinidad and Tobago continues to take a position grounded in international law. Speaking at a reception in celebration of European Day held at the European Union Residence Port of Spain, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Winston Dukeran, supported the approaches outlined by Foreign Minister of Germany, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, to resolve the current Ukraine crisis. The Honourable Minister is also calling on the European Union to act with great haste to ensure that the rule of law is not now to be replaced by the rule of war. The Crimean crisis is an ongoing international crisis, principally involving Russia and Ukraine over control of the Crimean Peninsula, which until February 2014 was administered by Ukraine. Currently, the Crimean Peninsula is controlled by the Russian Federation, a status which is not recognized by the United Nations. The crisis has also influenced riots on the eastern and southern regions of Ukraine. Minister Dukeran said that recently at the UN General Assembly, Trinidad and Tobago supported the UN resolution on this matter, which states that the territory of a state shall not be the object of acquisition by another state, resulting from the threat or use of force. The Foreign Minister of Germany has called for adherence to the Geneva Accord of April 17, 2014 by the 4 parties which were signatory to the accord, namely Russia, Ukraine, USA and the European Union. In so doing, he emphasized the need for a political signal from these countries to demonstrate their steadfastness to the agreement and suggested that agreement must be reached on the conduct of the presidential elections to give a new Ukraine leadership democratic legitimacy, without which political and economic stability would not be possible, fora for dialogue such as round tables, broad consultations on constitutional reform must be held to a tight timetable, and the efforts to disarm non-state groups and clear public buildings must be continued. Minister Dukeran said these views echo those of the Secretary-General of the United Nations, who has also emphasized a political and diplomatic solution as the only way out of the crisis, and has made an urgent call to those involved to assume their responsibilities and to play a constructive role towards a peaceful and lasting resolution. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Well, as we wrap up this edition of our News 4 newscast, we take the opportunity to pay tribute to William Willie Lauer. William Lauer was the last of the beloved Parang brothers, the Lauer brothers. He passed away at the age of 84 and was the father of 8 children. His death was described as a sudden, as he was not ailing. Well, remember, you can view a repeat of our newscast weekdays at 6 a.m. and feel free to visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/OurTV4. I am Gregory McBurney. Thank you for joining us.